Some sentences don't fade when childhood ends. They echo, they linger. They shape the way a child grows into an adult. And the most damaging words aren't always shouted. Sometimes they're quiet, casual, said with a sigh, a shrug, or a smile. But they leave marks all the same. You're too sensitive. A child cries because they're scared, overwhelmed, or hurt. Instead of comfort, they hear, "You're too sensitive. Stop overreacting. Why are you making such a big deal out of nothing?" And slowly, the child learns a painful lesson. My feelings are wrong. As adults, these children apologize for having emotions. They downplay their needs. They hide their hurt. They become experts at pretending they're fine, even when they're breaking inside, all because someone taught them that feeling deeply was a flaw. Why can't you be more like your sibling? Comparison feels harmless to the parent, but to a child, it's a wound. They hear, "Your brother gets good grades. Your sister never causes trouble. Look at them. Why can't you be like that?" What the parent thinks they're saying is, "Try harder." But what the child hears is, "You're not enough." These children grow into adults who constantly compare themselves to others. They chase approval. They fear failure. They feel like they're always behind, always competing, always losing, because love felt like a contest they could never win. "I sacrificed everything for you." This one sounds noble, but to a child, it's a heavy chain. When a parent repeats, "I gave up my life for you. I do everything and you give me nothing," the child learns that their existence is a debt. They grow up feeling guilty for wanting independence, guilty for having needs, guilty for choosing their own path. As adults, they become people pleasers. They over-apologize. They struggle to say no. They feel responsible for everyone's happiness except their own, because they were taught that love must be repaid. "You're lucky I even put up with you." This is emotional blackmail disguised as parenting. It tells the child, "You are a burden. You are unwanted. You should be grateful I tolerate you." Children who hear this grow into adults who tolerate mistreatment. They stay in unhealthy relationships. They accept crumbs of affection. They believe they must earn love because unconditional love feels unfamiliar. Someone convinced them that their presence was a problem. "Stop crying, or I'll give you something to cry about." This phrase doesn't teach emotional regulation. It teaches fear. It tells the child that expressing pain leads to more pain. So they learn to shut down, to stay quiet, to swallow emotions whole. As adults, they struggle to open up. They avoid vulnerability. They fear conflict. They don't know how to express sadness without feeling ashamed, because crying was treated like a crime. "You'll never succeed without me." This is control disguised as concern. It keeps the child dependent, insecure, and afraid of the world. A parent might say, "You can't handle things on your own. You're not smart enough. You'll fail without my help." The child grows up doubting their abilities. They second-guess every decision. They fear taking risks. They underestimate themselves even when they're capable, because someone convinced them that independence was dangerous. "I'm only hard on you because I care." This phrase confuses love with criticism. It teaches the child that affection must come with pain. So when they grow up, they gravitate toward relationships where they're undervalued. They mistake intensity for love. They tolerate harshness because it feels familiar. They learn that care sounds like judgment, and love feels like pressure. "You're ungrateful." Children hear this when they express needs, boundaries, or emotions that inconvenience the parent. A child says they're tired. They're told they're ungrateful. A child asks for help. They're told they're ungrateful. A child expresses hurt. They're told they're ungrateful. Eventually, they stop asking for anything. They shrink themselves. They become hyper-independent. not because they're strong, but because they learned that needing anything makes them bad. I never said that. This is gaslighting, one of the most damaging patterns of all. A parent denies their own words, actions, or promises. The child begins to doubt their memory, their perception, their reality. As adults, these children struggle to trust themselves. They question their instincts. They feel confused in relationships. They apologize even when they're right, because they grew up in a world where truth was unstable. Some words don't fade. They echo, they shape, they stay. But here's the hopeful part. Awareness is the first step toward healing. Understanding the impact of these phrases helps break the cycle. It helps adults rewrite the beliefs they inherited. It helps them build a life that isn't defined by someone else's voice. And most importantly, it reminds them that they deserved better and still do. Love videos like this? Hit like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss the next one. And stay curious with us. Conceptique, where complex ideas become beautifully simple.